So we'll go live in another 2 minutes. We have some participants who are joining up. We're also live, live streaming is because many of the students have got network issues.
Okay.
So we are simultaneously, if you see right now, it is live on the YouTube also. Probably on YouTube with a lesser bandwidth, most of them will be also able to see this.
Perfect, sir. No problem.
Right. Team ma'am, good afternoon to you. Dr. Pushpa Sarkar, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vice Chancellor, sir. And good
Madam,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Shilpa
afternoon,
madam. Prashant
afternoon.
sir. Himikapa sir.
Good afternoon, Shinde.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sharmakappa, Prashant, Shilpa, Manoj, and Dr. Tejasvi. Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So we're
It's already late. Where's Arjun?
He's looking for universities, right? Maybe he's held up there.
You look so tense. By the way, did you get to choose the university?
No, I'm unable to find a university that meets my requirements.
Whoa. Meet your requirements? What exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for a place that gives me an opportunity to grow, to excel, to invent, and to innovate. I want to be a part of an institution that paves my way to discover myself and to witness the world moving forward in technology. I want to go to a place that sets a futuristic pattern of education filled with ideas and radical performances. Basically, I want to live my dream.
Dayanand Sagar University. Live the dream.
So we're good to go, and we're going live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A very good afternoon to all the students, and also a very good afternoon to all the distinguished speakers who are here for the exclusive webinar on the Allied Health Sciences from the School of Allied Health Sciences, which brings out this webinar on the most sought after course in medical industry. We had a lot of students who have been writing to us, parents have been calling to us. We have been doing a lot of promotions in terms of talking about the various programs that are available in School of Allied Health Science. And being a field, parents would want to find, would want to come, would want to ask a lot of their queries. And hence we thought it would always be good if we conduct a series of webinars, a series of campus info sessions, where we give them the details on what exactly is it that is in it for the students to look out for a career in the Allied Health Sciences domain. So here we are today presenting this webinar where we have our distinguished speakers, and here you can see the list of speakers. But prior to this, let me give a quick introduction to the School of Allied Health Sciences. This particular webinar on Allied Health Sciences are linked to the careers and job opportunities. The healthcare sector is one of the rapidly growing industries, and India is becoming a global healthcare hub. The healthcare system in the country remains unable to meet the health needs of the populations because of many factors, most prominent being acute shortage of skilled manpower. Availability of human resources at all levels of healthcare system is extremely essential in moving towards the larger goal of the universal health coverage. Allied Health Sciences is a newly established concept in the healthcare and constitutes to be a separate stream of health professionals contributing to healthcare. Allied health science professionals are an integral part of the medical team, along with physicians and nurses, contributing their expertise to preventive, curative, and rehabilitative care of the patients. These candidates are enabled to assist confidently in technology-driven medical procedures. With this, I'd like to take the opportunity of introducing our distinguished speakers for today. Our speaker number one is the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. K.N.B. Murthy, sir. He is the Professor for Computer Science Engineering and the Vice Chancellor at Dialysis Sarkar University. Sir has been the former Vice Chancellor at PES University, Bangalore. Sir holds a bachelor's degree in Electrical Power Engineering and a master's degree in Electrical Engineering from Indian Institute of Science and a PhD in Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Sir has worked as a research specialist in parallel computing at New Mexico State University, US. Sir is currently a member of the Karnataka State Higher Education Council and the Academic Senate member of IIIT Dharwad. Sir, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Shinde.
Our speaker number two for the day is Dr. Pushpa Sarkar. She is currently working as the Dean for the Allied Health Science as well as the School for Health Science. She's worked as a director at Rajiv Gandhi University for Health Sciences. She is the board member of various reputed institutions of Karnataka and a visiting faculty of medical colleges in Karnataka. Ma'am, a warm welcome to you. Our speaker number three is Dr. Shilpa. She is the professor and HOD for biochemistry at Chandrama Dayanand Sagar Institute of Medical Education and Research, a unit of Dayanand Sagar University. She has more than 15 years of experience. She is a state topper at the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences in MBBS and won 5 gold medals. She has attended various conferences and has many publications to her credit. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Shilpa. Our speaker number 4 is Dr. Shanmukappa. He is qualified from Mysore Medical College and worked as a deputy registrar and deputy director at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. He has also been a nodal officer to the state of establishment of RT-PCR labs for COVID. He is the academic council member for SDM University and presently working as Associate Professor in charge of COVID-19 lab, in charge of academic activities at MIMS Mandya. Sir, a warm welcome to you. Our speaker number 5 is Dr. Prashant Kumar. Sir is the Vice Principal at Dayanand Sagar University, Chandrama Dayanand Sagar Institute of Medical Education and Research. And he is a keen academician and an administrator. He has completed his post-graduation from Bangalore Medical College and has worked as a professor of physiology for over 2 years. Most important institutes in Libya. He served as the head of Department for Physiology at both MVJ Medical College and Rajrajeshwari Medical College, Bangalore. He has over 8 years of experience in these two colleges and is also the coordinator for Medical Education Unit and is actively involved in organizing training programs for faculty members and postgraduate students in medical education technology. He serves as the chairman of the Board of Studies at Dayanand Sagar University. Sir, a warm welcome to you. And speaker number 6 is Dr. Tejasvi HL. He is currently working as a professor of anatomy and coordinator of medical education unit at Adi Chunchagiri Institute of Medical Sciences. He is also an adjunct faculty at Department of Medical Education, St. John's Medical College, the NMC Nodal Coordinator for Faculty Development. Sir, a warm welcome to you, sir. So here we are, and we commence the session. Like to invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to set the context and share his views. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shinde. Respected co-panelists, my dear student friends, and others who are in this campus info session. As you're aware, Dayanand Sagar University is organizing several campus info sessions, providing information to the students about various programs of study and also indicate the kind of jobs that are our opportunities that are going to exist for each program of study. Idea is to create the awareness among the students before they select a program of study. Before anybody is going to join for a program of study, some of the things have to be noted. In other words, some homework has to be done. And we are going to indicate what homework is required, how to select a particular program, how do you select a university so that their education is going to be rewarding, and also get an opportunity to work in an environment which is really good. Let me tell you 3 or 4 points which everyone needs to know before choosing a program of study. The first one is with regard to how the future is going to be, because you're going to graduate 3 or 4 years down the line. Therefore, you need to know what will be the work environment at that point of time, maybe 4 years down the line. As of today, it's been predicted that the future is going to be much different from what we see today. Thereby, the kind of skills required are far different from what the skills that we are talking about today. Which also means these skills are in terms of the technology, in terms of knowing the newer instrumentation that's going to be there, particularly for allied health sciences. The things are going to be far different from what we see today. The second thing that you need to know is the disruption is going to be much higher in the coming years. What do I mean disruption? There are a lot of change in the kind of environment, work environment, in the kind of skills. All because of the newer technologies like the artificial intelligence, the augmented reality, machine learning, several others. Therefore, there's one aspect which you need to remember. The second thing that you also need to remember is with regard to the multidisciplinary aspects. Whatever multidisciplinary aspect, it means if you're told you're going to specialize in only one domain, that may not be enough. Therefore, the students or the graduates of the future need to know something more than the now. Therefore, there's other thing which is understood very, very carefully. The other thing that also needs to be known is that the opportunities of the in the future are much higher than the opportunities that we see today, mainly because the newer jobs get created. Therefore, the jobs are going to be much higher in the future. Therefore, the future students have a lot more opportunities and a lot more challenges than what we see of the students today. That's one thing that you need to know about. The second thing, the major aspect is which program study. When you say allied health sciences, there are multiple programs of study possible. Which program study to be studied? Therefore, this has to be decided based on the interest that you have, based on the passion that you have, based on the background that you have. If you can get the audit of what you know, it's going to be easy for you to decide which program to be taken up, which technology to be studied. That's the second important thing. The third important thing is, while doing your program study, you also need to acquire newer skills, particularly the skills of the artificial intelligence, computers, etc. becomes very, very handy. The last aspect which you need to know is which university or which institute. You need to select a university which provides that environment for learning, the ambience for learning. A university which gives you a better quality laboratories, better quality faculty to interact with or to be trained by. Therefore, you need to choose a university which will give you high quality education, which will also clearly indicate you what are the career paths possible and prepare you for that career path so that you will be successful in the future. Coming to Dayanand Sagar University, I'm extremely happy to tell you the allied health science programs, all the allied health science programs are being offered by using the facilities of the medical school. There are lots of opportunities for you to know about it. Whenever you get the opportunity to work along the side of a medical school, I think the kind of training that you get is far different. Therefore, you will be the most sought after students 4 years down there when you complete your graduation. I'm sure with the kind of background that you have, with the kind of work environment that you're going to have, you will be most accomplished professionals going out of the portals of Dayanand Sagar University. And the other thing that you also consider the job roles or job opportunities will be in the form of an entrepreneur also. Because you're going to have high quality training, you can start an enterprise of your own, provided you're going to learn everything the way that's required. I'm sure the experts would tell you more about this, the various programs of study required, facilities that are going to be there. By end of this campus info session, by this session, you will have absolutely clear-cut information, which program to select, what to do, and which university to join and graduate. And with these few words, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity, and also thank my co-panelists for joining this webinar to provide the information, the needed information to the aspirants of AHS program, Allied Health Sciences program. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much. I now like to invite Professor Dr. Pushpa Sarkar, Madam, to please share your views on this. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Shinde. Okay. A very good afternoon to all, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the co-panelists, Mr. Shinde, and all the participants here. A very good afternoon to all of you. I presume that most of the participants who are here must be the aspirants after your +2, what to do next in your head now, what to do next after your second PU. Some of you might already decided, what you want to do. Some of you may be aspiring to be so and so and things like that. And some of you may be parents also who have logged in now just to know what are the opportunities available. And for all those, now most of you would be, some of you would be wanting the healthcare system, some of you wanted to be engineers. There's a lot many to be offered. So you have medical, you have engineering from the past many years who all wanted to become engineers and doctors. You have law, you have allied health sciences. Somebody wants to do BA, somebody wants to do BCom, even agriculture, BSc agriculture, and you have computer applications, so on and so forth. Now, most of you who wanted to be, who are interested towards a healthcare industry or a healthcare system, now with the pandemic, everybody is awakened, everybody is shaken, and the entire world, not the country alone, the entire world is looking towards the healthcare industry now. What's happening? So everybody is interested what's happening in the healthcare industry. Now earlier, what we say is that when we say healthcare, it was restricted to doctors, to nurses, and few other professionals. It was restricted to them. But over the time, we know the importance of the other healthcare providers who really contribute to make this entire healthcare viable. Now, who are these? Now, when we say that the world is a global village, when you say, maybe all of you are born after 2000, by then technology really had improved. But during our times, if you remember, you may not, your parents may let you know, even to reach out somebody abroad, you had to book a trunk call. And it was very tedious, the journey or whatever it is to go to the other side of the world. The world has become, you just say it's a global village now. Now, how is it so? Because the travel is easy, the communication is easy. You have video calls, you have emails, you have WhatsApp. All of this is technology, right? Technology has seeped into every field. There's no field, even agricultural also. There's no field which says there's no technology. Now, even into the health industry, the technology has seeped deeply into the health industry. Now, who has to manage this technology? Now, does the doctors do that? To a certain extent, yes. The nurses do a very minimal. Now, who else? We need to manage this technology. Now, these are the ones where this allied health professionals, allied health care professionals who come into picture. Now, if you go to, to get your eyes tested, okay, go to your eye clinic, you have an optometrist there. First, you're sent to an optometrist who will measure your eyesight, what's wrong, if it's hypermetropia, myopia, whatever it is. Then whether you go to a laboratory to get your tested, blood test, blood test, urine, whatever it is. When you go there, you have a technician to draw the blood, to conduct your test and give you a report. Likewise, surgical related, you have technicians. With a physician, you have physician assistants there. So everywhere in the OT, operation theater technologists, now you go see, many of you or in the families or elsewhere, you heard of this renal dialysis also. There also you see technicians. So when you go to a hospital, you don't see only doctors and nurses, you see many of these technicians everywhere in each department. This is how the role of technicians is really shaped very well these days. How? And it's earlier it was only medical lab, they were called lab technicians. Now the field is open. You have a varied entire field. And this, what shall I say, this health professions earlier, we did not have a regulatory body or apex body. Like you must have heard of Medical Council of India, which regulates the Medical Dental Council of India for dental and so on and so forth, like Pharmacy Council of India for pharmacy. And you have this AICTI for engineering. But from 2021, we have this National Council for Allied Health Professionals Act is in place. So we have a national council in place, and we also have a state council. Now they will regulate how the education should go for all these allied health sciences, the curriculum and what is the syllabus, what is we need to be taught, and all the technological part of it, and what are the courses coming under that. There are almost 53 courses which are listed under this particular allied health sciences. Now, when we talk about this to the students, like, who really want to do different, who are aspiring to become doctors, now you know that there are limited number of seats in the medical colleges. Now, every single student who have passed out of PCMB second PU and aspiring to be a doctor, they cannot fill into these seats. So spillover, then what happens? What do we do next? So you want to be in the healthcare because you are interested into the healthcare system. So this is a golden opportunity to be attached to the healthcare system, because you will be in a multidisciplinary team contributing to the healthcare. For example, I'll tell you a very small example. Suppose you're a technician, you go for a blood test, or you take your parents for a blood test. If a blood sugar, they give you a normal blood sugar, they give you is around 60 to 90 milligrams is a normal blood sugar level per 100 ml. Now, when they give that particular level, okay, it's normal. By mistake, the technician gives a wrong blood sugar level. The treatment varies. The doctor gives a different treatment. Suppose you give 200 or 300 milligrams, the treatment varies. The doctor will term him as diabetic and give him a different treatment. So there you know the importance of being a technician and importance of how you're contributing to the healthcare by being in the technical field. So you are a contributor for a better healthcare. So it's very important to be a good, skilled technician. Now, India is lacking. India is lacking in this particular skilled manpower. So we are looking into more and more of these allied health professionals who, along with the multidisciplinary team of doctors, technicians, and the nurses, the pharmacists, put together, they contribute to the healthcare system, the global healthcare system. And here at Dayanand Sagar University, as our Honorable Vice Chancellor was mentioning, when you go for this particular training, you have different trainings in different institutes. Now, we don't want to belittle the other institutes, but usually when you have a medical college attached to these particular courses, or when these courses are run adjunct to medical colleges, you will get the best of best education, because the same teaching staff who teach the doctors, who are more mentoring the doctors, will also mentor you, right? So at Dayanand Sagar University, I just want to take a quick look of what we offer in a medical college where you will be trained along with the medical students. The same medical, where you aspire to be a medical student, to undergo a nice training, the same training will be imparted to you for a different professional course. That's it. But all the amenities will be utilized by you, will be offered to you. Let's go on a quick tour. Can I have this in the share this? Yeah, this is.
You want to share the screen, ma'am?
Pardon?
Would you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
You'll enable my screen sharing?
Yeah, it is enabled, ma'am. You can go ahead and.
I've shared it with you, Sindha. I think I'm not able to.
Okay, I'll do it from my side, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah.
So this is our medical college, which is also houses the training for the allied health science students, situated in the Kanakpura Road. This is our emergency unit in the hospital there. Yes, next. Yes. And this is the anatomy hall with a dissection hall where you look into the cadavers are dissected there, and you get a chance to see all the parts, internal parts, with along with the medical students here. So next. Yeah, there's a museum where you'll get to see all the dissected parts of a human body. So where you get more and more knowledge about that when you see the parts beautifully dissected here. You can quickly go on, Shinde. And this is the physiology lab. Yes. Yeah, this also is another lab of physiology. And this is the biochemistry lab where you do the experiments, the blood sugar, what I was mentioning, the sugar, creatinine, urea, all of these, you'll be trained to do it here. This is another view of the biochemistry laboratory. And the microbiology lab. Next, yeah, this is also another, yes. This is your radiology lab where the unit. This is also ultrasound. And this is the post-op ward, the emergency ward where you see. There's a dialysis ward where dialysis is going on. This also is a post-op ward. And this is the operation theater where you get to see the operations being done. You're let into the OT where you see all the facilities, how it is being done. You can see the assistants there by the side who are helping out with the equipments, with the gadgets there. Okay, you get to see the live operations. And this is the OT complex. You see so many OTs there next to each other. All of them are different OTs. This is the complex. And this is the demo rooms where you'll be briefed before your class. This is the lecture hall. So this is the library, entrance into the library. You have got a beautiful digital library here. It's a part of the journal part of it. This is also a library, a view of the library. You have the AV8 room. There's a gym and another part of it. And this is the hostels. Only a few of them are there, and these are the best facilities also available. So you can skip this. The next. So I was telling about the NCHP Act also I was mentioning to you. And this is a 4-year graduate program, 3 years of studies plus 1 year of internship. This is what we offer here so that you train. And one speciality with Sagar is we are exposing you to the hospital from the first year itself. Usually it is after the first year, you have been posted in various institutes. Here, even the first year itself, we expose you to the hospital environment so that you know what you are going to do next, right? So you will have hospital exposure in first year, second, third year intensive, you will be in your own field. And you have 1 year intensive internship. So when you get out of this particular institute, you will be a skilled, confident, young professional, much sought after. So these are the programs offered. We have medical lab technology, emergency and trauma care, anesthesia and operation, all these, renal dialysis, cardiac care, optometry, this is a master's program, the last one. However, bachelor in audiology and speech language. If you heard of speech and hearing, that's the one, the last one, audiology and speech language pathology. Now, these are various programs. You can see all of them are into various fields. Now, we have at the medical college, we have all experts, the doctors, specialists in all these fields who would be training you. Now, you can opt to any one of these. The first year will be common. Then later, when you come to the second year, you have an option of changing your field also. You can look into any of these. You can come over, you can consult and look into which is a field which is feasible. We have experts who are going to talk to you about each field of these, telling you how to go, what is this field? And after this graduation, what are you going to do after this? And later, where will you be placed? So we have the experts who will be talking about this. Next in the. So this in short, we have put this as a career opportunities actually. You could be in colleges teaching, employed in the universities, hospitals, clinics. You can get into research, even pharmaceutical research also you can get into that. And transcription firms, industries, all these. Like, this is a very big, too much. I mean, I've limited this, but our experts today will be telling you about each course where you will be placed. The world is open for you. Like, by the year 2030, according to WHO, we are expecting around 40 million jobs in healthcare industry. So the world is open for you. So it depends upon you, how you come, get trained, get out and face the world, right? So we here would see to that you get out of a confident individual. So as I tell you, these highlighted professionals, if empowered, they could be leaders of change. That is said by people, but I would say that it's not if empowered, we will empower you so that you are leaders of change. Thank you so much. Wishing all of you all the very best. So thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving the overall picture in terms of the programs under the Allied Health Sciences. Thank you so much. I now like to invite Professor Dr. Shilpa. Please share her views. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Vice Chancellor, sir, and good afternoon to all the panelists, and good afternoon to all the participants. Mr. Shinde, I'll try to share my screen. So,
sure. In case if it is not happening, I can help you from my screen.
Yeah, sure. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yes. You can go to the presentation mode.
Yeah. Okay. Is it okay? It's gone to presentation mode. Yeah. So, dear participants, keeping in mind that you're all just fresh from 12th standard or second PUC, I will try to make it as simple as I can. And I'll be speaking about careers in allied health sciences. See, as Madam has already told, allied health sciences, there are various branches, isn't it? So I will be just speaking about career opportunities and briefly about the course in medical laboratory technology and medical imaging technology. So these two things I will try to brief as much as possible. Mainly, my main focus would be in job opportunities and the scope of higher studies in these areas. So this MLT, first let me talk about medical lab technology. So what do you study in this MLT course? See, these are all science-based courses and it's an alternative to MBBS. When I say healthcare, most of you would just think about MBBS. And as Madam has already told, MBBS is not feasible and it's not possible for everybody. And also MBBS, the stress levels and the demand for doing specialization, super specialization is so high, and even the job opportunities in many places are getting saturated. So even as a, better than MBBS or as an alternative to MBBS, if you want to choose a course, these allied health science courses, and MLT is, as the name suggests, medical lab technology. So most of the doctors now, they order investigations. You would have experienced yourself, if you go to a doctor, most of the time they will write some blood test or urine test. So when you go to a lab and get yourself tested, so the people who come in contact with you, first point of contact, who draw your blood sample, who analyze these samples, who issue the report. Now, these are what are called as technician, medical lab technicians or medical assistants. So the course you have to do to get there is medical lab technician course. And all science-based courses, basically you will be studying the basic science courses in the first year, and also in the second year, third year, we will branch out to various specialty subjects like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and microbiology, pathology. So since this is a bachelor's program, you will have to study all these various subjects in your 3 years of course. And you will be aiding and you will be doing various diagnostic processes like collection of specimens, collection of other samples, like maybe it is a other samples like urine sample and all that, separation and analyzing the samples to get the various results. Most of the analyzers are now, there will be big machines in the lab where you have to program these specimens and you will get a value, and then you have to maintain data. Quality assurance, that is a very important emerging field all by itself now. Suppose after finishing BSc MLT, you want to specialize in quality management or quality assurance. There are various courses, diploma courses, which will train you in quality assurance, and you can be employed in big companies if you do these other, postgraduate or diploma courses after MSc, after BSc MLT in quality assurance and quality management services. You can do various supervising jobs in various companies and various medical laboratories. Now, what value you have? See, this course, MLT course, has a very wide scope and it is ever increasing. The scope is ever increasing. The work atmosphere will be very cordial in that, what this means is you may not have to directly deal with the patients. So the stress levels will employment outlook, the career opportunities will be stable. Suppose you don't like a job somewhere, you will get a job someplace. Okay, there will always be job opportunities. As you know, there are so many labs now. So you will be employed somewhere. It is secure and quick job opportunities. One of the career with highest growth rate for jobs annually. I will show you the next slide. I have a graph for the growth rate. So I will show you, you can see what is the growth rate compared to other professions for job opportunities in this MLT field. It has a very high demand, and nowadays we have very, very competitive salaries offered also. You need not think that just because you're not an MBBS, you will not get paid well. No, we have high competitive salaries here itself paid to our technicians. So as you can see in this graph, the yellow line indicates the growth of the MLT job opportunities here up to 30%, whereas all other industries, the growth rate is only up to 11% from 2012 to 2022. In the past 10 years, this is a real-time sort of picture which shows you how much in demand you will be if you take this MLT course. So what are the specialty areas? Now I have told you if you become, the scope of this 3-year program. Now suppose you want to specialize, you don't want to settle down with a job after your BSc MLT course, you want to study further. What are the opportunities you have? Yes, you can specialize, you can do MSc MLT in clinical chemistry, hematology, histopathology, transfusion services. Transfusion services means blood banking. Okay, so even after BSc MLT, you can join a blood bank, and this is the specialty of this course. See, you don't have to necessarily do a postgraduate course in these subjects. Once after doing BSc MLT course, if you are employed and if you have sufficient experience in that particular field, you will be absorbed straight away as a senior technician or as a senior medical assistant in those areas like transfusion services, blood banking. You can do a specialization. You can join after BSc MLT. Also, clinical immunology, clinical microbiology. You have heard of RT-PCR for COVID. So you can work in molecular labs. You can branch out to molecular diagnostics. Phlebotomy means drawing blood, okay, sample collection. So you can specialize in phlebotomy only. Suppose you don't want to analyze, you don't want to handle any missions, you can specialize in blood collection and you will be employed as a phlebotomy technician. As I already told, quality management system, audits and accreditation is a very upcoming field in this area. So you can specialize in and also after your graduation you can excel in this, and if you excel in this quality management system, you will be absorbed not only in the labs but also in multinational companies which manufacture these kits, which manufacture these equipments. You can become a service engineer, you can become a quality QA specialist in those companies also. So don't think that your job will be limited to a lab attached to a hospital. You can be absorbed in multinational companies as well. If you are interested in data management, LIS, that is another field you can excel. And again, there are many, data analytical companies, networking agencies, which can employ you. Also in drug testing, toxicology, forensic science, you can specialize and you will be absorbed in these areas. So this clinical and medical, as I already told you, clinical medical laboratories is always there, either standalone or attached to a hospital, blood centers, pharmaceutical labs, companies, labs attached to medical colleges. That means in medical colleges, we will be teaching MBBS students, isn't it? So MBBS students will have to do a lot of practicals for their curriculum or course. So you can be employed in a medical lab and medical college lab and help out in reagent preparation, setting up the practicals and so many other things. That is purely exciting. If you don't want to attach knowledge. Dairy industry and water testing industry is another field which many of y'all may not be aware of, but yes, these open up jobs in the government sector for y'all, the dairy and the water testing industries. You can take up a supervisor job like a lab manager, LIS and data analyst, vaccine manufacturing companies. Again, teaching and academic careers. After doing higher education, you can do MSc, MLT, you can do PhD and branch out to teaching or academic professions. If you are interested in research, there is scope for that also. And in our college, we treat all the students equally, even MBBS, MLT students, and give ample scope for research opportunities for y'all as well if you choose an AHS course. Industry, I don't want to repeat the same thing. Quality assurance, sales, and yeah, R&D department will always be open for y'all. So that is another interesting field where you can work. So that is as far as the MLT part is concerned. Higher education, I've already told you, you can do MSc, MLT, you can do various other courses like QA course, QMS course, data management course, and clinical research course. So your opportunities, job opportunities will be branched out in various fields. So that is about MLT, Medical Lab Technology course. Now briefly about medical imaging technology. In MLT, you will be learning about blood testing, urine testing, and all these things. In medical imaging, you would have heard this is another branch of diagnostics actually. You would have heard about X-ray, you would have heard about CT scan. Okay, whenever you go to take an X-ray, it's not the doctor who takes the X-ray, there will be somebody else. So they are called as X-ray technicians, or even the CT scan, the maintenance of the machine, taking the CT scan, taking an MRI scan, all these are done by these technicians or medical assistants. Okay, so these are very, very important people for us because the doctor highly depends, especially in the present era where the healthcare sector is expanding and we are more and more dependent on evidence-based medicine. The doctors will be highly dependent on these reports, and any small mistake either in taking an X-ray or reporting a blood test will cost the doctor and the patient too much. So these allied health science professionals are a very, very important part of the healthcare system. So medical imaging, you will have to be trained in CT scan, X-ray, MRI, and all those technologies and maintaining those machines in their undergraduate course. And in future, if you want to specialize, you can do specialization in nuclear radiology, radiation oncology. Like these cancer centers will be using these radiation techniques to treat cancer patients. So after doing additional add-on course or the specialization course, you can be employed in these cancer centers or neuro centers in cath lab. Cath lab means the cardiac care, okay, those cath lab technicians. So all these are various branches of specializations after doing medical imaging technology bachelor's course. You can opt for specialization, or if you are not interested, if you want to settle down with a bachelor's degree, even then the scope is quite large and you will have innumerable career opportunities in imaging equipment companies, also in academics, research centers, and in various other places. So what my bottom line would be is the scope for these courses are very wide, in the sense you don't have to think that you will be restricted to a hospital attached lab or a diagnostic center. You will be having offers from big multinational companies, from research centers, from various other fields. Academicians, if you are interested in academics, you can go to academics. So, there is ample opportunity everywhere. In whatever direction you go, you will see the opportunity and the salaries will be very, very competitive. So with this, I want to end my talk and I want to encourage all of you, more number of you, to choose one of these allied healthcare sciences, because it is a very, very upcoming field with a lot of demand and a lot of job opportunities wherever you go, either in India and in abroad also. So thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I can take. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think the questions can come by the students in the Q&A box. And while the other speakers are presenting it, the faculties who are free can always address the Q&A box. Thank you so much for your talk, ma'am. We would now like to move on and invite the next speaker for the day. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Shanmugappa, and sir will be talking about audiology, speech, language, pathology, and optometry. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shinde, and good evening to Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Dean of School of Dean of School of Allied Health Sciences and other panelists, especially so for the attendees. So I hope my screen is shared.
Yes, sir. You can go to the presentation mode.
One second.
Just down below the presentation, you can find those four buttons. Yes, done, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just briefly tell the attendees about the optometry course as well as about the bachelor's in the speech and language therapy. So here in the optometry course, basically I would like to inform the attendees, especially what are the prerequisites to join these courses. And what in gist, later on when you join these courses, definitely you will be able to go through the courses in detail. So coming to the BSc in Optometry program, it is a full-time undergraduate program across the country. It's a 4-year degree course with a 1-year internship included in that. So let me be very clear that an optometrist is not called as a doctor. But yes, in some of the countries, especially so if an optometrist has done a doctorate of optometry, then they will be called as a doctor. So it is a very dynamic and a challenging career that offers a self-awareness, work flexibility, especially so some of you might be having an idea that healthcare sector is demanding in nature. It takes away much of the time, personal time, but especially with this optometry course, there is a workplace flexibility beyond what you or rather attendees can imagine. So there is always a community respect as well as a money related achievement will also be there, and there will be unlimited opportunities across the globe for this optometry course. Coming to the eligibility, who all can join this course? This eligibility is decided presently in the individual university wise, but normally the students should have studied physics, chemistry, and biology as must subjects in their +2 standard, rather +1 and +2 standards. In majority of the universities or colleges, they prefer to have a 50% as a cutoff marks to become eligible to join these courses. So coming to all of you, especially the attendees must have been already appeared for NEET or CET in the respective states for various other courses. But let me be very clear here that presently the NEET is not considered for admission to especially these allied health science courses. But there are some institutions presently in India where they demand that the student should have appeared and qualified in the NEET. Say, for example, All India Institute of Medical Sciences for BSc Optometry, they do ask for a NEET appearance or NEET eligibility certificate. This is how you can get enter into the optometry course. So what do these optometrists do? Basically, they identify the defects in the vision or signs of an old injury or any ocular diseases or abnormality and problems with the general health which can lead to the ocular diseases. Presently, there is no licensing part in our country which has been highly regulated, but yes, they can practice an optometry independently. So which includes giving eye exams, writing a prescription for the contacts, lenses, glasses, finding abnormalities in the eyes, and guiding them to an ophthalmologist. So next is it a good career? Yes, optometry, if you can think of right now, some of the what I can say, not exactly an authentic information as we lack an national wide registry, but yes, there are hardly 9,000 4-year completed graduates in optometry across India, whereas we require around 1.5 lakhs to cater to the ophthalmic problems where an optometrist can handle the patient's complaints. So they have a high job satisfaction, as I have told you, with respect to the quality of time, life, and income. In terms of income is also not very bad. So the next thing is after completing this optometry, what I can do, they can opt for the masters in optometry. Yes, we do have an institutions across India where these courses are offered. And they can also branch out. They can do an MS or MPhil, a PhD, or as I said earlier, Doctor of Optometry. So which is presently being conducted in few countries. So the next thing is jobs for them who have completed these optometry. They can join as a researcher and the faculty in a school or college of allied health sciences. Ophthalmic assistant they can work as. They have an option to go to a sports council as a sports vision consultant or optotic specialist, ocular prosthetic specialist, practice optometry, as well as they can work as LASIK assistant. So that is commonly you have heard of laser surgery. So they can act and they can work as an assistant also. So coming to the abroad opportunities, for those who have completed this bachelor's degree, the whole world is open to them. There's unlimited opportunity. Of course, whenever you are going to another country, you will have to clear their regulatory examination apart from having this degree. But if you want to go to Canada, then there is an expressway entry to that country. That means the steps involved in working there is easy compared to the other countries. So the next thing is coming to the this thing. I would like to say here one thing that come at the end I will be telling. So coming to the Bachelors of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology, that is BASLP course. This is also a four-year full-time undergraduate program. It is a rehabilitative professional course. As earlier our Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned, this is a highly multidisciplinary one with the core subjects of speech pathology, language pathology, and audiology. So here again, for the eligibility, the students should have completed their PUC with the chemistry, biology, mathematics, and physics. I hope the attendees can make out the difference in the eligibility here. So the 50% cutoff is decided normally by the individual universities as of now, unless at the national level, a council comes up with a percentage of cutoff to enter into these courses. As I had earlier expressed, the NEET or the CET entrance is not mandatory as of now to enter into these courses in any of the colleges. So basically, what actually the attendees should give importance to when they are joining or opting out an allied health science course is that one is whether these courses are being taught in a medical college. The priority can be given to such institutions because the highly qualified teaching faculty will be there to guide them. The next comes the standalone institutions. There you can think of infrastructure and faculty as well as the facilities available. based on that, you can choose the institutes. So what exactly these BASLP holder do? They can work, actually these students will identify the hearing related problems in the individuals, as well as the balance, that is physical balance related to the ear problem. So such diseases or such patients will be identified and they will be guided to the proper doctor. They can work as an audio therapist, they can work as a speech pathologist, they can work as a hearing aid specialist, as well as they can work as an instructor or a teacher. They can become a speech audiologist, audiometry technicians, clinical supervisors, etc. So coming to the career option, so they can do a master's in audiology and speech language therapy, a MSc in audio speech therapy, MA in communication science and disorders, MBA in healthcare management, MSc in molecular pathogenesis, doctoral or research related studies, as well as they can be a faculty also. There is a serious dearth with respect to the faculty positions in this field. So jobs, as I told you already, the next thing is what is the future of these, where exactly these not only these two courses, for example, in allied health science courses also. So as our Dean of School of Health Sciences has earlier explained, that there is a council which is being formed. So once the council is formed, I'm sure that a registry is maintained at the national and state level. Once it is maintained, especially then the minimum standard regulations in regulating the colleges will be placed in, they will be placed in proper standards, and they will in turn streamline the colleges as well as the school. So all these bachelor's degree holders can do a postgraduate degrees in the same colleges, and there will be an opening as a faculty in these schools once the council, registry and MSR is standardized. I'm sure in the coming up 3 or 4 years, all these schools or colleges which caters these science or caters these courses will be looking out for the faculty positions. So there is an increasing awareness and dearth of these professionals in India. For example, you will to tell you that the hearing loss can be identified in a neonate, that is a newborn baby within 28 days. If that is identified and properly treated, the baby will not have any other developmental issues. So for all these types of things in the BASLP graduate are much required. And there is a national program also in preventing and controlling of deafness in India, where the national program is also looking for these specialists, or rather the graduates. So experience is the one which makes these graduate holders, especially these optometry and allied health sciences courses. So experience is the one which gives a much more importance, because they will be learning daily based on the complaints of the patients, and they will be valued much in the care of the health as an industry or as an institution. That's all. I just want to brief you about it. If there are any questions, I will attend it in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the guidance on this. We now like to take the opportunity of inviting Professor Dr. Prashant Kumar. Over to you, sir. Yeah. Asharmaka, sir, you can stop the.
Yeah, I'm just
sharing.
This has got hanged up. 1 second, sir.
Sure. Yes, sir.
A very warm good afternoon.
Over to Dr. Prashant. Over to you.
A very warm good afternoon to all the dignitaries and the participants waiting. Warm good afternoon to Honorable Vice Chancellor and also to the Dean of Allied Health Sciences. I tried to share my contact. Or will you be sharing from your side, sir?
You want me to do it?
Just I'll check once.
Yeah.
Okay. Must be. Oh, you could do it, sir, from your side.
Okay. You want me to do it? I'll do it from my side.
Yeah, please, sir.
Yeah. Are you able to see it, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes. Now that the participating students have got a very good orientation towards what allied science courses are all about, I would take this opportunity as a vice principal of the medical college to tell you a few things about the institution itself. Now, this institution, the CD Cymer, has started in 2019. Can I go to the next slide, sir? It is a fabulous institution. One would be excused to think that he's in Europe if he steps into this institution. It is about 40 kilometers away from Bangalore, and it is on the Kanakpura ring road. It is a sprawling 140-acre land which houses this 1,350-bed state-of-the-art hospital. And it is known as Dr. Chandrama Dayanand Sagar Institute of Medical Education and Research. It has got a fantastic infrastructure, no doubt, but it is the people in it which makes it even more special. These people have endeavored to train themselves in the new curriculum, which I'm very sure is applicable to all of these courses, in creating an environment that encourages creativity, it stimulates innovation, it motivates scholarly pursuits. In fact, with this kind of infrastructure, the best of faculty, and patients coming in large numbers, any private medical colleges, in my past experience, have always had a challenge when it comes to number of patients walking in. But this institution, from day one, has had a lot of patients walking in on par or even exceeding what is expected from the regulatory authorities. So with all the three falling in place, patient care, research, and education is right at its pinnacle in this institution. So I wouldn't hesitate to say that my institution will revolutionize the nature of medicine, science, and society, and thereby help in playing a national and global welfare role. We have fantastic labs. Already, Madam has shown some of these. You see, these are the labs in which the students will be trained. Next slide, please. These have already been spoken about. And the next slide, please. And this is a very critical area for the next course, which I am going to talk about, and also the operation theatre complex and the emergency ward and the ICU beside it. So I'm basically going to speak about two of the courses amongst the allied health sciences. One is the renal dialysis technology. Now, unfortunately, in recent times, China and India have become the world leaders in the number of diabetic patients that are being seen. It is not a proud privilege. In fact, it is very sad that a country where yoga and other traditions were rich once upon a time have now become the epicenter for a silent pandemic like obesity and diabetes. But due to these disorders being so rampant, the renal end-stage kidney diseases, acute kidney injuries, and kidney failure has become a very common entity. And we have to gear ourselves, this nation, this society, and the world, to fight this silent pandemic, where renal disorders are becoming so very common. So this course, Bachelor of Science in Renal Dialysis Technology, is a very apt course, and it is getting populated with a lot of interest at the right time. This is a program which prepares the student to first have a basic knowledge of the renal anatomy, the pathophysiology of the kidney diseases. It then equips them to get trained in the next 2 years in the hospital environment, where a lot of these end-stage renal diseases are being treated with by dialysis by our very own nephrologists. So under the watchful eye and the skill training by this nephrologist, these students will be able to conduct hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis to all these unfortunate individuals with end-stage kidney disease or in acute kidney injury requiring dialysis. So after the completion of this program, the students have n number of opportunities. They can opt for careers in major hospitals all across India and the southern part of India. We have so many good corporate and semi-corporate hospitals. There they can go and work as dialysis technologists. Also, many institutions are now employing these people as tutors and clinical supervisors. And they can go on to do a master's also in this and really be a very great asset to this nation. During this recent pandemic, we've seen that it's not just doctors or nurses alone who can run the hospital, but we require an army of such paramedical allied health sciences people. And we as a nation are expanding so fast in all of this. We definitely need this. And so that is why I say to the friends who are watching this, that this is an apt time to choose such disease. Not everyone need to go in to become a doctor. These courses are also apting you. And in fact, they're giving you directly the skill set which is required, which is more appropriate than an MBBS course. And the next course, please. Next slide. Of course, as I said, this particular course arms you with so much good knowledge. The next course, which is Bachelor of Science in Emergency and Trauma Care Technology, it is a basic skill, actually basic knowledge in specific bedside procedures. A lot of patients come in with trauma or emergency requirements, especially hospitals which are lying next to the highways, even within the city after night. A lot of trauma due to the road traffic accidents, which is a very common incident in India. These patients are brought in, and not always, you always have a team of doctors waiting to treat. So the casualty medical officer or the emergency care doctor who is there can do with a handful of technicians who can actually help them out in these procedures. Because during this course, the student is first trained in the anatomy and physiology and the various life knowledge which is required about the basic anatomy and physiology. And then they are trained in the hospital setup itself. As I said, there's a very big input of footfalls of patients into our hospital. They are trained by senior doctors here in handling serious medical and surgical emergencies. In all of these places, cardiac care, neurological care, trauma care especially, in all these contexts, emergency care is being taught to this set of students in the course which handles this. And this also leads you to great job opportunities in medical colleges, in hospitals, in private sectors, in industries. And besides, both of these two courses also have can later on lead you to even medical transcription. So there is no need to think twice to get into these courses. Both of them have master's courses which lead you to actually specialize in the renal care scenario or in the surgical and trauma care scenario. So I would urge all of you to sincerely think about these as your first choices. And you're all welcome to do it in a place where the medical college is having a big number of patients walking in. You are specially equipped and much better than the standalone colleges where there is no hospital to support the training programs. So this is a genuine opportunity to you. Do not think much. Please do join us. I thank you. Thank you for all for giving me this opportunity to share what I know with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It's a wonderful, detailed thought process being shared. So with this, we'd like to come to the next speaker of the day. And I would like to take the opportunity of inviting Dr. Tejasvi. Dr. Tejasvi will talk about the cardiac care and the AT and BOT. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, the screen is visible, sir.
Sir, is it in slideshow mode?
Yeah, it is in slide mode.
Yeah, thank you for confirming, sir. At the outset, I would like to extend my thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Dean ma'am, and I also thank all the panelists for their wonderful inputs. I would like to speak about cardiac care, anesthesia, and OT technology as careers for these wonderful students. Now, cardiac care technicians, if you are aware, they would be assisting cardiologists or physicians in doing multiple procedures. Procedures like carrying out ECG, carrying out echocardiogram, carrying out some of the procedures which are invasive in nature, like putting tubes into blood vessels. So cardiac care would give you an opportunity to explore some of the well-known complications or clinical conditions associated with healthcare system. Right? So this is what cardiac care technicians usually do. And the second thing I just wanted to talk you through was regarding the operation theater technician. The name itself suggests.
So there is some disturbance in the voice.
How about now, sir? Is it fine?
I think you're quite away from the mic or slightly away.
Sir,
Is
it better now?
It's echoing, sir.
It's echoing. Actually, I'm inside a room, and I think this is quite uninsulated. I'm not sure what the issues are. I'm really sorry.
Okay, the voice is echoing, sir. It's slightly not clear, sir.
It is still the same, sir?
It is still the same, sir. Maybe you could hold the mic slightly close to the mouth, if it is possible.
Let me try.
I think some connection issues. So you can speak. Let's see how it goes.
The cardiac care technology that I spoke about, the other two things are, one is operation theater technicians. Now, the name suggests if you take up this course and complete the course, you would be assisting surgeons in OT, that is operation theaters. Now, as Prashant sir rightly mentioned, India has become a hub for diabetes mellitus, and this has led to a lot of clinical conditions or complications resulting from it. And one such complication is the complications related to the heart, the cardiovascular complications. Apart from cardiovascular complications, it can lead to multiple complications like renal complications, microvascular complications, which would not only require cardiac care, but also multiple surgeries in other parts of the body. So as operator theater technicians, you would be assisting the surgeons in these cases, once you complete the course, of course. Then the other thing or other course is about the anesthesia technology, and anesthesia technology will also give you an opportunity to work with intensivists, people who work in emergency conditions, trauma care, casualty. So all these technology courses, all these healthcare, allied health sciences courses will help you in working with the medical team. As Dean ma'am pointed out in the earlier session, you will be a part of the healthcare team, and your contributions will be invaluable in assisting some of these life-saving procedures. Now, most of us would think any of these courses should offer us some kind of monetary benefit. Now, all these courses come with definite monetary benefit. Don't think that these courses will offer you very less than what doctors do make in their practice. Now, this is a graph which shows you what is the average earning when you enter into these allied health sciences courses as an entry-level participant or an entry-level worker. Then as you progress to junior level, middle level, and senior level, your earning goes steadily upwards. Fine. If you start your career around 15K or 20K, you would end up getting around 80 or 90K by the time you take experience, you gain experience. So don't think that the allied health sciences courses will offer you less returns in terms of money, but they can also make you settle your life, right? So the only message I want to give, because like majority of the panelists have already given their inputs, detailed inputs on the various courses, remember there is no substitute for the skill learned. Now all these courses are skill based. if you choose the colleges which will help you in gaining these skills, there is no doubt that you will end up as a successful career in these technology courses. I wish you all the best and thank the organizing committee for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. You can stop the screen sharing. Thank you so much. Just stop the screen sharing.
I'm just doing that.
ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳು ಈ ಹೊರಟ್ರವರು
Yes.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು.
Sir, is it done? Do you have the control?
ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡು.
So you guys are live. 1 second.
ನೀನ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಈಗ ಲೀವ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
Dr. Prashant, you are live. Dr. Prashant, you are live. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So here we are, students, and we had some wonderful talk from all the distinguished speakers, and this is what we have covered today in terms of all the programs that are available. And before we sign off for the day, I'd like to show to all the students the list of programs that are available. We have 8 different series of programs available under the Allied Health Sciences program list. The list is on the screen for all of you to see it. Last year, when we launched the program along with our med school, where we have the hospital, CD Cymer, there has been an excellent demand for the courses. And in the first year, all the batches, last year we launched 5 programs. All the 5 programs have been full. We had a good waiting list, which we could not go through because the seats were full. This year, we have added 3 new programs, and that's how you see the list of 8 different programs that are available for students. You can always choose the specialization in the year 2, as it was suggested by the Dean ma'am. So the applications are open. You may visit the website bsu.edu.in. We also have the helpline numbers 080-4646-1800. You can call up on these helplines, and our team of experts will be happy to guide you. Once you fill in your applications, our counselors will get in touch with you and help you to complete the process. So with this, I would like to sign off on behalf of Dayanand Sarkar University. A sincere thanks and our gratitude to all the distinguished speakers for the day. I also would like to thank all the aspiring students who have taken out time, and on the request, the university has been able to establish this special campus info session on the programs available under the Allied Health Sciences, mainly in the BSc. So with this, I'd like to sign off. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shinde, and thanks to all the panelists, Dr. Shanu Kappa, Dr. Tejasvi, Dr. Prashant Kumar. Thank you so much for having made your time and being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, and thank you, Mr. Shinde, for coordinating. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.